So we just had about 4 hours of maintenance. We have some compensation, but no actual patch notes. But what we can do, however, is have a look at the Chinese patch notes for when they got this update. Now, officially, we do have a roadmap. In one day, we should be getting a whole bunch of new content. And it's very likely the update we just got now, the maintenance, is to support that. So if we look at the update details, we can find some interesting things that the Chinese server got at the time. So we'll go through that and the fact our battle pass is about to end. Should you spend or save your battle pass tokens? We're about to get another breakthrough. There is some important things I'd recommend doing beforehand, and I'd like to give some pretty important advice with regards to the tips exchange here. Don't screw yourself over a bit like I did. So first, let's jump to the patch notes. Basically what we can expect as announced in our roadmap. This first page lists all the details for version 1.2 on January the 9th, which is just over a week and a bit from when the game actually released on the 27th of December 2024. So they got this patch significantly faster than we did. And this brings the new storyline boss and all his gold, but then also this new boss that we are about to get as well, the River Master. In terms of all these details in Chinese, I have these patch notes roughly translated here, so don't expect it to be fully correct. And yeah, we just went through this, and the next page is massive long list of simply optimizations, some adjustments, balancing, and we very likely have a much more polished gameplay experience from what they had originally, with these serious long lists of bug fixes. But also, we can't be fully sure, as they aren't giving us fully detailed patch notes. They don't list everything like they did for the Chinese server. Our news website looks pretty empty in comparison. The small bits of patch notes that we do get are usually listed on our title page and otherwise in the Discord server. The last one was 8 days ago with a bit of optimization. They just don't really hype up the new content that we can expect like they did for the Chinese server, other than some small posts that they put on Twitter here. This highlighting, that new river boss we're about to get, which for sure has multiple phases, beating up himself and then having that phase with his sea serpent. But yeah, this will then unlock the final part of the Kaifang map, giving us continuation on our main story, most likely. And there will be another boss to beat up herself here, which has been confirmed on the roadmap. The rest on this blog is mainly, just flavor text, giving some insights as to what the content's about. Following on from that, January the 14th, they introduced 3 new world bosses. We can very likely expect them as well within a few weeks. 1 within Kaifang and 2 within the first area. This creepy guy with his coffin scythe, and then the drunken fist guy who throws alcohol and fire at you. But they haven't yet confirmed those. All we can see leading up to 3 weeks from now, the end of December, is a new sword trial, new heroes realm, and the firework festival. But in game, jumping to the season here, if you check the battle pass, we can see there's just over 1 day remaining. And you may have a bunch of these battle pass tokens and be worried if they will expire. Word on the street is they will not expire. Like the Chinese server, they should carry over to the next battle pass. You'll be able to save them up for some exclusive new items. And I personally will do so for upgrade materials, hoping the new battle pass will also have some of these. But we never know. There's always a chance that they do expire. But I would assume they would add a timer on them if that was to be the case. And they wouldn't be as generalized as just battle pass token. So it is probably safe that they will match the Chinese server and they will carry over. And yes, it is your last chance then to buy the premium pass if you wanted to. It's not overly needed. You just get some extra echo jades and a little bit of pill powder for more energy. and then yes, the cosmetics. But if you were to buy anything in this game, it would be the battle pass, and probably this mount for petal collection, if that's something you want to be doing. They did put out a mail a day ago to warn you that the battle pass is ending, and to make sure to claim all your rewards. But now in terms of the tip exchange, where you recycle inner ways and get these vintage book plates, which you then exchange for new inner way tips. Well, you can see what I've done. I've nearly depleted all of them. That's how much inner ways I've obtained. But this is also as a result of going for these 4 inner ways. This one, not this one. And there is something I regret. And that is not going for one of the class-specific martial art inner ways. Because without a purple martial arts inner way, I cannot convert these inner ways to one of the specialized ones. Like a class-specific inner way can only be converted to another class-specific one. And if I don't have a purple class-specific inner way, I can never use any of those purple class-specific inner ways. I've gotten 2 legendary common ones, which maybe I shouldn't have, although I feel people underestimate the power of this one, particularly because it's super easy to level up, and once you get to this point, that's pretty useful. And then I also have Moral Chant maxed out for our current solo mode. And the benefit of what I did was it made getting these inner ways for these 2 legendary ones super easy, because I would keep recycling everything except these 5 from all 4 of these chests. But that also means I'm skipping these class specific ones. I got pretty unlucky with my Bell Strike ones and did not get enough Sword Horizons to be able to upgrade it to tier 2. I'm 1 short, so I just have to hope whenever I open a chest that I get it. What I could have done is converted this class-specific inner way over to a new one, and only after that point, I would then go and open the next chests, like these here. And then you'd get these ones, which you would stack on top of the ones you gained through the conversion. Keep in mind, again, you have to do this conversion before you obtain the new inner ways. Otherwise, any existing ones you've obtained will just swap over to the other one. This here is a simple swap. All of these inner ways for all of the ones that you have of the other one. So if it's 0, then they simply just get moved over here. So if I was to go through this again, and if I was to make the actual most of this tips exchange, it would be to open and deplete just 1 of this stock of chests. And after I've done so and obtained a set of legendary class specific inner ways and a set of purple class specific inner ways, I would then convert both of those to the next class type. So it would be green, purple, or red from, say, my blue. And once I've done that conversion for both my legendary one and purple one, I would then open that new chest. I would then open the 600 from here, obtaining these new ones. And I would level it up further. After that, again, I can convert those, say, green ones over to the purple ones. And after that, open the purple chests. And you see what I mean? You end up with a far more efficient way to get these class specific inner ways upgraded. For me, I've kind of shot myself in the foot because I've heard word that they do not restock these chests ever. They will add a new chest, a legendary one, where you can get, again, these inner ways, but it's most likely going to be at a lower conversion rate, not as generous as these ones. So the time is now to make the most of these 4 chests while they're available, and don't do like I did. You're best off to focus on the class specific ones and using the conversion, as I mentioned, to get as many as possible. Just be aware though, you can only convert per season 4 times. I have done 1 conversion, which was to get Invigorated Warrior instead of Bitter Seasons, which I started with. The dot on this is super low, and from what I could test, PvE bosses don't actually have physical defense, so this was doing nothing for me. And even though this may not have 100% uptimes, since I do get hit, it's still very powerful, especially if I get it to the next level. And if you max it out, you will not lose that 8% damage when getting attacked by a person that you are attacking and mark. So it gets really strong later on. But that's it for the video. Hopefully this was at least somewhat insightful to some of you out there. Another special thank you to all my channel members, and we'll see you guys around.